I think Rose is probably the most serious out of them with a sore knee, possibly something to do with his PCL, they suspect. So obviously we need scans to be able to diagnose that. So early diagnosis would be that he would miss next week, and then depending on the level of it, or if it is a PCL, a few weeks after that. In the hip, I think, more hip. So I think he stayed out there. He was a bit sore, so we basically just try to keep him out of the action. So hopefully he'll come up all right from it.
And what about that, Louis?
Yeah, that was just a knock to the leg as well, side of his leg. So again, we suspect he'll come up all right from it.
And did Lynch cop a knock to the shoulder late on as well?
Don't think so. No, I didn't notice that. No.
What did you make of the performance overall? You set it up in the second quarter.
Yeah.
A bit lax in the third, maybe?
Yeah, certainly late in the third. We scored pretty well in the third, but we let them score too much as well. So that was a little bit disappointing. We probably turned the ball over more than we have for a while in that third quarter. But the boys responded in the last quarter. They wanted to finish the game really strongly, and they certainly did that. So it felt, certainly with Cox being out of it, just rotating players, and then Rosa going off and having to use Cox in a different way. It was a solid hit out for all the boys, and it was hot early. It was in the temperature. So it knocked them around a bit early, but I thought they finished off really strongly considering we had limited rotations late.
Your ability to get three players to hit the scoreboard well with no Josh Kennedy and Mark McGrath only kicking one goal late, that must have pleased you.
Yeah, really pleased. All those guys have been working hard all year in those roles now. That's the nature of our game, is that with Kennedy out of the side and Lecker pushing up higher at different times, those guys were more in the action and more the targets around the ball inside 50, and they capitalised really well. They've been working at that intensity all year. Obviously, Nico nailed all his shots. He's had a couple of games where he's had as many shots and hasn't kicked it straight, so that makes a massive difference as well.
Darling seemed to spend a lot more time deeper and had a big impact there. That sort of suggests that he might be able to play a role as a power forward at some point.
Yeah, no doubt he'll be able to as he matures. It's a good experience for him to have had Kennedy out these last couple of weeks, and even earlier in the year when Lynch was suspended for a game, he's played a bit different role.
Do you think Ebert's also sort of found his position as well in that forward, role?
Yeah, possibly. He's a very good mark, and he's got a super running ability, so he works extremely hard, and that's the sort of things you're looking for a player that can really test the opposition out.
Is he a bit of a confidence player as well, Eber?
I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily that he's a confidence player, but he's got areas of his game in terms of especially his ball use and ball use under pressure that he's got to continue to work on.
How important was Natanui's work in that second quarter?
Obviously pretty important, if you're asking me.
Kicked a couple of goals.
Yeah, no, he did. He took a couple of good marks. His marking today was very good in contested marking. He's really starting to get his timing right with all that, and he's obviously makes him a threat around the ground, but also in the forward 50.
Is that his next step to really have an impact forward on a consistent basis?
I think he's doing that now. Yeah, I think he's marking the ball regularly inside 50.
Did you make a conscious decision to leave him there and isolate him in the second quarter, perhaps because of no Kennedy, or maybe for his own development to see how he would go in that role?
All those reasons. A bit about who we had out there, matchups, how we wanted to use different players. Also that because Cox was sore, he was going to have to do a fair bit of work in the second half, so give him longer rests and get Coxie to, while he could, keep his work rate up. So there's all those things we took into account.
Do you think you give Daniel Kerr another 3-week break again?
Yeah.
For the contest?
Yeah, no, well, he felt he was ready to go last week. We were comfortable that we made the right decision to prepare him for this week, but he's certainly fitter and feeling better than he was even at the start of the year when he came in. So it's a credit to him for how hard he's worked in his downtime.
Are you hoping that's the last stint on the sidelines he's going to have this
Of course
season?
I am.
No,
yeah.
Do you plan a rest before the finals at all? Or should
No,
he go?
I think he'll be right. Yeah.
John, how about Sam Butler? Did he hurt himself yesterday as well?
Yeah, he got his calf was tight, so we're not sure whether it was just tight or whether there's a little tear. So again, he'll have scans tomorrow, and we'll see on that.
And overall, like in the last 3 weeks, there've been a couple of closer wins, and then today there was a couple of lapses. Do you think in terms of intensity that you're travelling as well as what you were earlier in the season, or is it maybe just a little bit of a down period at the moment?
That's hard to predict, but I'm fairly uptight before every game. From where we've come from, there's no easy games for us. We're challenging ourselves to play with the intensity that we know is winning us games, but with a view that we've still got to work hard to improve as a team. And there's no doubt that shows in different periods of the game we've got a lot of room for improvement, and that's the exciting part, that the players, they want to keep improving and be a better team than what they're showing at the moment.
You've just had the Hall of Fame and obviously big celebrations today. What's the feeling like in the club?
Well, I suppose it's a funny one in that all the celebrations up to right now have been in the background to preparing the team to play, and to have won the game today, it's a nice feeling to be able to reflect on the 25-year history of the club with the win today. I'm wrapped for that, and a lot of our old original playing group just walked through the offices, and it was great to just see them on the way through and say good day quickly, and then I'll catch up with them shortly. And, a lot of players who have made a massive contribution to this footy club over the 25-year history, and I've been lucky enough to pretty much know all of them and play with most of them or coach most of them, and it is a big milestone for the footy club.
Thank you.
No worries, thanks a lot.